Hey James, thanks for joining. Thank you for my first year of Vitality Studios, yes. For every person who joins in this streaming service today, I do give out a free pink box. So the pink boxes are a way of me giving back to the community. Hi Ruby. So basically what they are is free sanitary items. So yeah, every person gets some pads, some tampons and a pen. These go in the community centres, so such as libraries or parks, public toilets and things like that, or just community centres. So this is my way of giving back to the community. So we've actually had Bailey come on board. So thanks Bailey, thanks for joining. So that's another one. So far we have 5 to give away. Alright, so I just wanted to check in with you guys if you have any questions about what Vitality Studios is all about. I can see the live feed coming up. So I did wanted to take a moment to talk about Vitality Studios. Hey guys! Thank you for joining. So another 2 pink boxes are going to go out to the community centres, so another 2. So I was just saying before, these pink boxes are free sanitary care for people in need. So it's my way of giving back to the community. If there is any questions that you have regarding them, you can check out on my Patreon page, so I can send that on the group later. So I'll tell you a little bit of a story about how I got involved with Vitality Studios. So Vitality Studios for me happened because I actually had an operation on my knee, and I wasn't really able to do a lot of things, but I did know yoga. So my friends and family got together and they said, oh, why don't you teach yoga? Why don't you teach them yoga at a community hall or in the park? So I got involved by doing it that way. I started off by actually renting out a hall in Narracop, and it was really quite small and it was quite quaint. It was really nice to have everyone kind of come together as a community and get involved in it. It was really nice. And then I had my own yoga studio for a little bit, and then I got accepted into Masters of Occupational Therapy, so woo! And I moved to Perth, so that's how my business became online. Since then I have grown slowly but surely. It's been a bit much studying masters and having a small business, but you know, I got here and I'm here and I'm celebrating with you guys, so thank you so much for your support. It honestly means a lot to me. Throughout my journey I have wrote a book. So the book is Shanti. So Shanti means peace. And then this book basically has 10 yoga classes that I've written. So that's been published and it is available on the Patreon site. So you guys can check that one out as well. So I put a lot of effort into this and making sure that they're simple explanations and simple yoga steps to follow. So it starts off with chair yoga, which I'll be doing tonight at 5 or 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock more like it. We'll see how we go. So it starts off with chair yoga. And the first class I actually wrote, I dedicated it to my nana, who had a bit of a neurological accident and yeah, I did yoga with her to help her gain her strength back. So that was something really humble that I did. So it starts off chair yoga, and then it goes on to class 2, which is it's getting easier, but it's getting harder on the mat. And then we build up the strength, and we go on to bigger things. So more complex positions or deeper stretches. So yeah, that was one of my first things that I've created out of my business, and it's kind of just grown since then, so it's been really nice. So I'll just take a moment to go through the merch, and then I would like to talk about the collections with you guys. And as I'm talking, please feel free to message the chat if you have any questions, okay? Alright, so there's some beautiful images in here that Lex took, so thank you so much, Lex. Amazing photographer. And as I said, this book is available on my Patreon, or you can message me privately to find out how to get your hands on one. Alright, so pop that one back. And we also have our gorgeous little tote bags. So each gold member who signs up is going to get a little tote bag for a present. So these are fantastic. They stand out, they hold so much in them. Like I've gone to work with them, and I've had water bottles, changed clothes. They're really good for overnight bags. And they also have the social media tags on them as well. So I have the Patreon tag on this one, but then I have the YouTube. So if you guys ever want to check out some free yoga, jump onto my yoga page on YouTube. So it's just Vitality Studios AUS, and that will take you to the YouTube page where you guys can do yoga for free. So lots of giveaways today, and yeah, it's going to be an amazing night. So we do have the grand finale at the end, which also has some merchandise things in there as well. So we have the prize raffle. So the prize raffle is $2 per ticket. So far I've sold over 150 tickets, which is amazing, and it's going to be drawn tonight. So if you guys want to get your hands on a ticket, then please message me. So in the raffle we have coffee. Who can't survive without coffee? We have a yoga towel or a workout towel. Hey Emily, thanks for joining. So another pink box will be donated to charity. Free sanitary items for all. Thank you. In the raffle tonight, $2 a ticket. We've got a shea butter mask. We have some bath bombs in there, a tote bag, essential oils, and exfoliating gloves. And we also have in here some products from Indota. So we have the Clevermint Recovery Balm, which is amazing for any aches and pains or simple muscle cramps and things like that. And then we also have some eye oil in there, which is fantastic for sleepy eyes. So yeah, all the products in here worth over $150. We also get a customized t-shirt, which is a black crew neck t-shirt with Vitality Studios on it, and also a yoga mat. So yes, lots to give away tonight. I wanted to take a moment to talk about the collections that I have on Patreon. So there is a link that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, so you can have a little browse if you like. So I'll just share that on the messages here for you. Alright, so you can copy and paste the link into your browser if that's something that you want to do. So the collections that I have tonight that I want to go over, first of all, I've got recipes. So we have some amazing recipes that myself and my sister have come up with. So a very long time ago, we discussed some really healthy recipes that would be easy to put together on a budget, or something that you can just put together for the family with no time preparation. So the first one that I want to talk about is my absolute favorite is Taco Tuesdays. So Taco Tuesdays was a tradition of mine that I used to do, and yeah, you basically just cook the mince and put everything together with some salad, and you can make it however you like. So you can have it's endless varieties and lots of different options that you can do on an easy budget and an easy put together. You can also supplement with other meats if you like, or you can have a vegan option if that's something that you want to do. Hi Georgie, welcome back to the show. Just going through my recipes. So it was just going on about how I love tacos, and tacos is great to put together. Alright, so I've pasted a link into the chat. So if you want to copy and paste the link and check out what I'm talking about, awesome if you do. Alright, so the next recipe I put together is coconut chicken curry and rice. This is honestly one of my favorites because you can do it in the slow cooker. So you just have to prep the ingredients. So cut everything up, dice the chicken, dice the onion, get the slow cooker or the crock pot lovely and nice and hot, and just put everything together. So it's really nice, and you can just go about your day, go to work, and then come back, and it's all done for you. And then when everything smells amazing, the coconut cream, the curry, and you serve it with some rice, it's a really good high protein meal. And the reason I put this one up also is because I love to do it and I love to meal prep. So if anyone knows me, they've seen a couple of photos of meal prepping, something that you can just chuck in the freezer and then come back to later. Chicken curry is one of those ones where it's really good to it's really good to meal prep. Okay, so the next recipe I want to talk about is chicken, vegetable and rice. So again, this is one of those recipes that you can put together and then you can freeze it. So what I like to do, it's almost like you can have the chicken however you like. So I like to have mine with a little bit of lemon and pepper, just so it's nice to eat. A bit of some flavors in there, makes everything come together. My favorite stir-fry vegetables to put with this particular dish is the stir-fry vegetable mix that you can get from Coles. It's really easy to get to in the Coles freezer. You can just chuck it in your freezer, and then when you're ready to go, you can just stir them up on a big pot. Alright, and then cook some rice with it, do some meal prepping, and then put it in the freezer. So, and then we've got meals for lunch or a lazy dinner. I think we all have those recipes that just warm our hearts, that we've come up with our friends or our family, and it reminds us of home, or it reminds us of something really heartwarming. So this one is a chicken salad, but again, you can, I know I've got a vegetarian joining me tonight, so you can have vegetarian options. So the warm chicken salad, I like to get the mixed greens in a bag. I rinse them and then I dice everything up. So tomatoes, I put capsicum. I love capsicum, really good, high in vitamin C and really good for your skin as well. Yeah, and then I put a little bit of tomato in there, and then I've been putting sunflower seeds and potatoes in there. So sunflower seeds and potatoes are really good for your skin and your bone joint health as well. But yeah, you can get your coleslaw pre-mixes in there. You want to pop that together and then just grill your chicken. What I've been using lately is the chicken sticks because they come already pre-flavored, and then you can just cook them up and then pop them together. So I was just saying to one of the members before, I said, I reckon we're going to have a bit of technical issues throughout the night, but you know, this is my first time going live, so I'm sure you guys can forgive me. Most of my recipes are actually chicken themed or themed in high protein, because I understand that protein is an essential vitamin for the body. I know that you can get it in other sources as well, but my preference is chicken. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the other collections. I made the education body mind tab for the collection part because I wanted to not only incorporate my background as a massage and beauty therapist and a sports science and health scientist, but I wanted to bring everything together. So when we do exercise or when we do yoga, what we're doing later on tonight, we want to try and think about as a holistical way of living. So we want to think about what we're putting in our body as fuel, and we want to be mindful about what we're doing with our bodies. Are we overexerting them too much? Do we need to allow our bodies to rest so they can be on the optimal level? So the reason I created the mind and body education part was to provide people with a bit more of a background as why things are important for us. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I popped a simple thing in here about washing your hands. So washing your hands is actually essential for our health, and it's as a health scientist you kind of get drilled into how important it is, but I challenge you guys to put on a pair of gloves. So it can be the latex gloves, the medical gloves, the dishwashing gloves, gardening gloves, whatever you want to do, and put tomato sauce all over your gloves and then try to take them off without getting your hands dirty. It's a challenge, but it's fun. So it's bacteria and dirt gets trapped underneath our nails, and it can give us quite a lot of sickness. So it's very important to keep our hands nice and clean. So there is a post here that I wanted to touch base on. When I was in beauty school, a very long time ago now, I had an amazing teacher. Her name was Sarah, and she always used to say to us, hey girls, it's nice to be near. Nice to be near. We'll hold that thought. Thanks, Catherine, for joining. So I've just got another pink box that I'm going to give away to charity. So the pink box is a sanitary item. extra sanitary items that gets dropped off to community centres. So thank you for joining. So we were just going through the Patreon page. So I sent a link into the group chat that we've got going on now. So feel free to have a look at that as I'm going through it and I'm talking about bits and pieces. So just saying a story about when I was in beauty school, I had an amazing teacher called Sarah, and Sarah used to say, "It's nice to be near." Now, what does that mean? So nice to be near means when you're walking past somebody, you have good hygiene, you've got a good, like a maintained appearance, and you're polite. So that's something that got drilled into me quite a long time ago. So a couple of tips here. So be approachable to people. So make sure that you have good hygiene, you've had a shower, you've got deodorant, you've got your perfume on if that's something that you want to do, you've brushed your hair, and people want to talk to you. So this also comes into self-care. So self-care is an essential part of living. It's really, it's very important. I can't stress how important this is. You need to take time for your self-care. It's really good for your physical health and your mental health. When we look after ourselves and we take time for self-care, we improve our self-esteem and we prevent health issues. So it's good to be healthy, it's good to be strong, and it's also good to be nice to be near. So I wanted to tell you guys that the difference between skin type and skin condition. So not really a lot of people know this, but the skin type is something that we're born with. So we get from our mum and our dad. A skin condition is something external or internal factors. So for example, I know one of my really good friends has psoriasis. So stress is a physiological, it can be a physiological trigger for a lot of skin conditions. And when we look after ourselves and we take time for self-care, our physiological stress levels go down, and those skin conditions do actually get better. So I was saying before that when we exercise and when we are mindful about what we eat, it's in a holistical approach to health. Now you might realize that I'm not saying when we diet, because I personally don't believe in diets. I believe in lifestyle changes, lifestyle habits, and mindfulness eating. Because let's be honest, diets don't really work. But if we're being mindful about how we feel when our body is working and what we're getting out of it, it's a bit more of a better outlook. And if we can keep a healthy habit for 30 days, it's most likely going to be a lifelong. We've talked about the outside, let's talk about the inside a little bit. So our personality traits. Now, personality there's so many different personality tests that you can take out there, but essentially they come down to the ocean of personalities. Come down to extrovert, introverts, things like kindness and compassion also take into consideration as well. So the difference between an introvert and an ambivert. So when we talk about an ambivert, that is somebody who is kind of in between an extrovert and an introvert. So extroverted people, they generally are a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more social, and sometimes they're a bit more impulsive and they enjoy people's companies. Now, I do have a very talented psychologist watching me, so I'm a little bit nervous talking about this, but I'm sure I've hit the right points, and if not, please feel free to message me and correct me. Now, I've only done a little bit of psychology studies with my health science and sports sciences, so a bit different from being an extrovert. So an introvert is somebody who likes to be to themselves, more of a not going out type of person. They tend to be more reflective, and there is actually a lot of theories that suggest as we get older, our personality traits change and we become more into an introverted type of person. So ambivert, like I said, sits somewhere in the middle there. So we're going to take 5 minutes out of your day, and we're just going to do some diagrammatic breathing. So I've got this one in the Education Mind Body collection here. So this one, I put this one in here because I think it's very important to take a moment out of our busy days to just reflect on how our day was, and perhaps remember a nice smile that somebody had whilst passing by. So what you do is you start with your hand over your heart and a hand over your stomach. You breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And while you're doing this, you're being mindful of how the body reacts. So you breathe in through your nose and maybe feeling the tightness in your shoulders relax. And you breathe out through your mouth. So you feel your jaw softening and your mind relaxing. Doing that one more time. So inhaling through your nose, perhaps you like to close your eyes, and exhaling through your mouth. So that is a really good way of calming down the nervous system, calming down after a massive day, stressful day at work. So I actually have a YouTube video coming out soon on mindfulness breathing, so I'll let you guys know when that drops. Okay, so as far as I have done, so I have a booklet filled with different types of breathing exercises, different breathing techniques and self-massaging techniques as well, which we might actually cover tonight. So in my Patreon, I do take the time to listen to some amazing podcasts on Spotify, and I tend to send the link as well. So I saved the link on to the relevant collection that I think, but if you guys ever listen to Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, oh, he is so funny, and he talks about many other things besides astrophysics and yes, a lot of different things, including exercise. So he has guests that come in and they sit down and they have so many different conversations, and they're quite funny to just sit there and listen. So there is a couple of links into some podcasts in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to be moving on to the special requests. Throughout my time doing yoga, I've had a couple of people ask me, oh, can you do a yoga class focusing on core strength? Or can you do a yoga class focusing on relaxation or upper body or lower body? So what I've done is I've taken that into consideration, and I've basically written down everything and come up with different yoga videos to suit that different style. So I've done a couple of videos in this. So the first one is, it's called Easy Knees. I did this because one of my ladies that I do yoga with, she has a little bit of problems with her knees. So we like to do some exercises that are really gentle, that aren't too harsh on the knees. And I find that a lot of my older clients, they actually really like this as well, because what it does is it allows them to calm down the central nervous system. It calms down the thoughts, and it also calms down their body, and they're able to move around a lot as well. Okay, so I've got a couple of you guys listening to me, and a couple of newbies joining. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the raffle tonight. So the raffle that I've done, put all these beautiful products together. So what we have is, we have a bath bomb in there, we have a candle, we've got, we have a candle in there, a little oil burner, we have essential oils, cloven mint recovery balm, really good for sports balm on the neck and shoulders or delayed onset muscle soreness. We've got some eye oil in here, which is really good for the tired eyes. Essential for life coffee. And then we've got a tote bag in here as well. So in this little box, we've got products that are worth a total of $150. You also get a tote bag. So you also get a customized t-shirt, and you also get a yoga mat as well. So lots of free giveaways today. So if you want to participate in this raffle, look how big it is. It's big. All you have to do is let me know, and it's $2. I'll give you the details on how to do that online, and then your name gets in the raffle, and then it gets drawn at 8 o'clock tonight. So very exciting. I'll pop that one away. Okay, so I am currently talking about the collections that I have on Patreon. So I'm just going through the collections. So we talked about the Easy Knees. So Easy Knees is really good exercises for just releasing some of the backs, some of the upper body. We'll do some yoga tonight as well for everyone to get tuned in. Okay? Alright. I have also covered a lot of chair yogas. So chair yoga is a really good way of bringing strength to the body, to the upper body, giving yourself some good stretches along the way. And it's a really good way of just, if you don't have half an hour, if you only have 5 minutes of your day, just getting up, moving the body, and getting everything moving again, because movement is essential for our body. It's really good for our mind and body to be working together collaboratively for optimal performance. Some of those videos are actually on YouTube, so I'll share the YouTube links so you guys can check it out in your own time. Next collection that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the class progressions. So class progressions, it's going to take you through beginner yoga, beginner stretching. So we do start off on the mat, and then we just do a bit of sitting exercises, a bit of stretching, nothing too invasive, and then we go a little bit deeper through class, come up to class 16 now, and it starts to get a little bit harder. So I like to always put my yoga videos in with positive affirmations because I really think that they coincide with each other. So if you want the opportunity to have a look at those classes, again, I think that they are on YouTube, so you can check those out. I do apologise. I think my first one was uploaded November, so yeah, just under a year now, so a year next week, and yeah, my editing skills have got a lot better since then, so I do apologise if you do want to go back in time for my editing skills. Hopefully one day I'll be able to go back and do them all again, but for now, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the yoga. So the last content on my collections page is the inspirational quotes. So what happens when you join as a Patreon member is you get an email from me every time I post something. And sometimes it is an inspirational quote, or sometimes it's something to do with the mind and body, or sometimes it's a new video that is just about to be launched on YouTube, so you get first watch. So there's lots of little inspirational quotes in here. So the one that I particularly like is "Be kind to your mind," because we don't show ourselves enough compassion sometimes, and we live in a world that is so fast paced, and we just want to get things done and be successful as we want, but sometimes we just don't take the time for ourselves, and I think it's really important to be kind to your mind and give yourself compassion sometimes. Okay. So there's lots to look at there for you. So far we have 9 pink boxes going to be donated to charity. Amazing! So pink boxes are sanitary items that are easy access to people. My way of giving back to the community. Thank you so much for joining. So I will be starting a nice and easy yoga class. I'm just sending it off to a couple more people to see if they want to join. So if you have any more questions, or if you have any questions in general that you want to ask me, just give me a message. Thank you so much for joining. So because we do actually have a new member joining the chat, I am going to donate a pink box. So the pink boxes are free sanitary care for people in need. So every person who joins this live event tonight, free sanitary items get donated. So I will pop that one in the box. That's getting a big box. Everybody who joins tonight, I donate a pink box. So pink boxes, this person's actually quite familiar with them, and yeah, our group of friends came up with this idea together. So it was an idea that we came up with where you could chuck this in your Google Drive or have it an easy access to get to in sticky situations. So what they are is they're sanitary items placed in a convenient and easy box, which I donate to community centres or people in need, or anyone who wants them really. So 2 more in the box, which is amazing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for a couple of people to join us, and then we're going to walk you through a nice, relaxing little yoga session. Easy and breezy for beginners. Okay, so we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we will jump into it. And also we have couple of merchandise that we can run through while we're waiting. So we have the raffle. So the raffle that we have tonight, it's $2 for a raffle ticket. It's worth over $150. So you get a gym towel, a tote bag, you get a couple of Vitality Studio pens in there, some coffee, everyone loves coffee. It's actually quite good for your health as well, so there you go. And then we have the Clover Mint Recovery Balm, and I can feel that you're laughing at me, but that is okay. So the Clover Mint Recovery Balm, we've got some eye oil in there, we've got body shea butter for a face mask, a bath bomb, a candle, and essential oils in there. The person who also wins this also gets a yoga mat and a customized t-shirt as well. So we are giving away these beautiful tote bags as well. So these tote bags are made by a really kind friend of mine. So she hands made them and hands pressed them. Her designs are incredible. These bags are perfect for overnights or just going to the beach, putting it over your shoulder. You've got the logo here, and then also the media tag in there as well. That little tote bag, I just got asked to do a nice close-up. This one here. Alright, so let's jump into a little bit of yoga. So if you guys are joining me tonight for yoga, making sure that you do take care of your body, listening to what it's doing. If there's any aches and pains, just sit down and relax. Yeah, the pink box are a fantastic idea. Thanks for acknowledging that, it's awesome. Alrighty, so nice and easy yoga tonight. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'll try to stay where you guys can see me, but if you can't see me, just give me a wave and let me know, okay? Alright, so we're going to start today by standing up in a comfortable position. So we're going to start in a mountain pose. A mountain pose is where our feet are grounded, our feet are spread, our toes are gripping onto the ground, our heels sit underneath our hips, our hands come by our side. We just relax our jaw, relax our mind. And here we take a moment to take an inhale as we bring our hands up and above your head. Joining together in a prayer position and then resting in your heart space. So we're going to do that one more time. So taking in a deep breath. So you bring your hands up and above your head. Joining together in a prayer position and then resting in your heart space. Now I did say this is beginner friendly. So if any moves don't feel comfortable for you, just stop. So we're going to bring our right leg forward. We're going to step into a lunge position. Now we're going to make our way into warrior one. So our back foot is slightly on an angle with our heels in line with each other. We have a bend in the front leg. So we cartwheel our hands all the way forward, warrior one, and then cartwheel our hands back for warrior two. My bad, mistake. So cartwheeling your hands forward for warrior one as we rotate our hands towards the front of the room. Our hips are facing forward. Hello, thank you for joining. So we're just going to do some yoga. So we're going to open up the body for warrior two. we're going to land our right elbow down onto our right knee, and our left hand is going to come up and above your head. You're going to look up towards the sky. Taking a deep breath here, and you cartwheel your hands back in line with your shoulders. You're going to flip your right hand and bring it up towards the sky for reverse. You can bring it up and over your body and look underneath your shoulders. In one swift motion, you're going to cartwheel your hands towards the front of the room. You're going to step forward and bring yourself back into mountain pose. So what we're doing is we're just warming up the body, and we're encouraging flow to increase the movements of our joints. Alright, so because we've had one other person join, I'm going to put in a pink box into our box. So let's join on the other side. So we're going to start in our mountain pose. So our mountain pose, we have our feet grounded on the mat. We have our heels in line with our hips. We rest our arms by our side. We're going to take in a deep breath, and your hands come up and above your head in a circle-like motion, and then join together in a prayer position, and then rest in your heart space. One more time, you're taking a deep breath, and your hands come up and above your head, and then rest together in a prayer position in your heart space. You're going to step your left leg forward now. You're going to have your left leg nice and bent. You're going to have your right foot slightly turned out to the side with your heels in line with each other. You bring your hands up, and we're going to come into Warrior One first. So this is where your hips are facing the front and your hands are up and above your head. You're going to take in a deep breath and then open up into Warrior Two. Let's bring that back hand around to join the front as we come back into Warrior Two. Opening up the body to the right side, coming into Warrior Two. We're going to bring the left elbow down to meet the left knee, and our right hand comes up and over our head. We look up towards the sky. A deep breath in brings your hands back into a T position. You're going to flip the left hand and bring it up and above your head as the right hand drifts back. You look up towards the sky. Taking a deep breath as you cartwheel your hands towards the front of the body and step your legs together, coming back into mountain pose. Okay, so thank you so much for going through that beginner yoga with me. I think that we can move on to something a little bit more difficult. Okay, so is there any questions regarding that little session? Do we feel nice and warmed up, ready for a good night? So the second half of our little yoga warm up. What we're going to do is we're going to make our way down to the ground. So stepping at the back of your yoga mat, if you're using a yoga mat, you're going to have your feet hip-width apart. Your hands are going to come up in a T position, and then you're going to swan dive all the way down to the ground. So your hands are going to come down to touch your toes if you can. If not, just on your knees is fine. You're going to come all the way down, a bend in your knees. You're going to make your way all the way down to the ground on all fours. So in this tabletop position, let's make sure that your hands are sitting underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Good to see you all warmed up, ready to go. Perfect. Alright, so this is just the beginner's class, but we are holding a bit of an advanced intermediate class at 7:15, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so we're going to bend our elbows to the back of the room. We're going to slowly lower ourselves all the way down to the ground with control. Our hips come down and our shoulders come down. We push all the way up into a cobra pose. Now in this cobra pose, it's really good to warm up the lower back. We're going to look over the right shoulder first, and then look over to the left. And then making your way back to center, you're going to lower all the way down to the ground. You're going to tuck your toes and push back into all fours. So let's just do that one more time to get the body nice and warmed up. And let's try to exaggerate our movements just a little bit. So we're in all fours. We're going to bend the elbows towards the back of the room and slowly lower ourselves all the way down to the ground with control, swooping the chest and coming up into our cobra pose. Okay, so here in our cobra pose, we want to separate our shoulders from our neck, and we're gonna target the lower back a little bit here. So looking over your right shoulder, we're gonna exaggerate the move and try to look and turn our body. And then trying over to the left side. Coming back to center. Bend our elbows towards the back of the room and then lower all the way down to the ground with control. Bending those knees, pushing the hips back, and we're going to find ourselves in a child's pose. So a child's pose is when our knees are about the width of the mat. Our big toes are touching. We're going to push our hips towards the back of the room. And our hands come forward. You can rest your forehead down on the ground. And just taking a moment to focus on your breath. We're going to look forward, ripple all the way forward into all fours. And let's try to tuck your toes and come into your first downward dog. So pushing your heels away, pushing your hips up. This is your first downward dog. So having a bend in your knees, if that feels comfortable for you. Let's see if we can come into your tippy toes, pushing your tailbones all the way up to the sky, the shoulders towards the back of the room. And then bending into the knees and coming all the way forward into our all fours. Lovely. Okay, so a bit of a challenge for you tonight. If you want to do this, you can. So let's put all of our moves together, everything that we've done tonight. So starting off with our downward dog. We're going to push our hips all the way up to the sky, coming into our downward dog. We're going to gently walk our hands all the way forward and find ourselves in a forward fold. Our fingertips towards the ground. If you can't reach the ground, bring your hands up to your knees. Your hands come all the way down to the ground. And then one vertebrae at a time, we unroll ourselves all the way to standing. Your hands come up and above your head in a circle-like motion, joining together at the top of your head in a prayer position, and then resting in your heart space. Lovely. Good job. We're going to step the right leg back now with a bend in your left. Your hands come up and above your head into Warrior One. You're going to open up the body for Warrior Two. Swing that right hand forward and coming back into Warrior One. You're going to bend into the left leg. Your left elbow comes down and you look over the right shoulder. Under the right elbow, and then taking in a deep breath as your hands come up into Warrior Two. You flip that right hand and you bring it up and over the body. Let's cartwheel your hands back to the center. We're going to step the right leg forward and step the left leg back as we come into Warrior One. Let's bring that left hand towards the back of the room, opening up the body into Warrior Two. Bringing the left hand back to the right, finding yourself in Warrior One. Alright, opening the body one more time into Warrior Two. The right elbow comes down to meet the right knee, the left hand comes up and above your head. Cartwheel your hands back to a T position. You flip the right hand, it comes up and over the body. Lovely. Let's cartwheel your hands back to the front of the room. Step the left leg to join the rounds. We find ourselves back in mountain pose. We're going to take in one more deep breath, inhaling up as you bring your hands up and above your head, then join together in a prayer position in your heart space. Softly closing your eyes as we come into today's mantra. The best way to capture moments is to pay attention. This is how we cultivate mindfulness. We're going to bring your hands to your lips and you thank them for always knowing what to say. You bring your hands to your heart and you thank Him for always guiding the way. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. All together we say, Namaste. So I can see we've got a new member who just joined. Say welcome, welcome. Thank you. Yes, first year celebrating is awesome. So for everyone who joins this live tonight, I'm giving out a free pink box. So the pink boxes are this little guy here. So what is in them is free sanitary care for those in need. So we've got a couple of pads, a couple of tampons, and some liners in there as well, and a free pen to write down some notes. So these get dropped off to community centres. So for everyone who joins tonight, the pink box is going to be donated. So thank you so much for joining, guys. When we do yoga, it's very important that we listen to our bodies. So if anything feels uncomfortable for you tonight, just stop. So we're going to start today by coming to the end of your yoga mat. We're going to sit down in a comfortable seated position. We're going to place our hands on our legs, on our knees. We're going to take a moment, a quiet moment here to settle into our breath. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through your mouth. Taking in a deep breath, your hands come up and over your head. The circle leg motion position. Your hands come together in a prayer position and you're looking up towards the sky. Bring your hands to rest in your heart space. You're going to bring your hands forwards and rest them in front of you. You're tiptoeing your hands towards the front of the room. And you slowly come into a forward bend. Perhaps resting your forehead or just resting your forehead. Feeling a deep stretch in your lower back. Pulling your hands back to sit tall. Bring your hands forward. You're going to rock all the way forward to find yourself in all fours. You're going to bend your elbows towards the back of the room. And slowly lower your chest down towards the ground, followed by your hips. You push yourself up into a cobra pose, tucking your toes and pushing yourself all the way up into our downward dog. Walking out your legs one at a time. You're going to raise your right leg all the way up to the sky, as far as you can go. And you're going to bring that right leg to land in between your hands as you bring yourself up into Warrior One. You open up your hands into Warrior Two. You're going to bend the right elbow to rest down on the left knee as the left hand comes up and over the body. You're going to carve your hands back so your hands are in line with your shoulders, flipping that front hand and bringing it up and over the body. You're going to cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, walking your hands to the center of the mat. Allowing your right hand to stay and your left hand comes up. Your left hand comes down. Your right hand comes up for a spinal twist. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining. Alright, so your hands come forward. We're going to walk your hands over to frame your right foot, and your foot comes back, and we find ourselves in a plank position. In this position, you're going to bend your knees and just hover them off the ground, pushing your hips back into our downward dog. Walking out your legs and making any adjustments what you want. Your left leg is going to come up as high as it can possibly go. Big stretch here. And then you're going to bring that left leg and land it in between your hands. Coming all the way up into Warrior One. We're going to open up your hands into Warrior Two. Your left hand drops down to your left knee. Your right hand comes up and over the body. Cartwheeling your hands back. in line with your shoulders. You're going to flip that front hand and bring it up and over the body. Cartwheeling your hands over to frame the left foot. I'm just going to change positions. So walk your hands to the center of the mat, and this time, instead of bringing our hands forward, you're going to walk your hands to the back of the room. And then walking your hands back to frame the left foot, stepping the left foot back, and find yourself in a plank position. Dropping those knees down to the ground, bending at the elbows, and then lowering all the way down to come into our cobra pose. So listen to your body, and if you need to stop at any stage, please do, okay? So bending at the elbows, lowering all the way down. You're going to tuck your toes and then push all the way up into downward dog. Okay, so this time we're going to try and expand on our moves. So it's focusing on the strength that we have within our bodies. Seeing we can bring strength and stretch into our bodies. So we're going to raise the right leg as far as we can in the sky for our spin split pose. We're going to bend into the right knee, bring it in towards the body. You're going to touch the right knee with your right elbow, and then bring it up to the sky again. Big stretch here. Bending the knee and landing that knee in between your hands. Coming straight into our pigeon pose. Big stretch here. And then bringing your chest all the way forwards. Okay, your hands come back to frame your knees. You're going to tuck your left toes down. And you're going to bring yourself back into downward dog. So walking out your legs one at a time, you raise your left leg all the way up to the sky, as far as you can go for a standing split pose. You're going to bend the left knee and bring it in the body, touching the left elbow, extending all the way back, coming back into our standing split. Bending in the left knee, and the left knee now lands in between our hands. So come straight into our pigeon pose. Taking in 2 deep breaths here. And then bring the chest all the way down. Two deep breaths. Your hands walk back to frame your left knee. You're going to bring that left knee back. We're going to come all the way back into, that's right, our downward dog. And walking out your legs one at a time, bend into the knees and ripple all the way forward. So your knees are hovering off the ground. You're going to bring the right knee in, touch the right elbow, and then bring it back. Bend the left knee and touch the left elbow, and then bring it back. Dropping those knees down to the ground. Let's do a little bit of strength here. So you're going to raise your right arm nice and straight and in line with your shoulder. You're going to bring the right hand back and then bring it back to center. Raising the left side now, opening it up and then bringing it back to center. You're going to bend into the right leg, so you're raising the right knee off the ground with your foot flexed towards the sky. Doing 2 pulses here. 1 and 2, and then resting that leg down. Let's repeat that with the left side. So the left side comes up. You're going to do 2 pulses with your left foot to the sky. And then landing the left leg down. Now let's try to put those both together. So you're going to raise your right arm and your left leg. You're going to separate them towards the back of the room, on the side of the room, and then come back to center. Thank you for joining us. And then landing that down. Alright, so we're going to raise the right leg and the left leg, and then separating them to opposite sides of the room. And then coming back to center. Coming back into all fours. You're going to have your knees slightly wider than the mat, and you're going to push back into your child's pose. Taking in 2 deep breaths here. Alright. Let's bring ourselves into a comfortable seated position, cross-legged at the front of our mat. So we're going to finish off this yoga by doing some stretches. So stretching is a really good way of relaxing and letting go of the tension. So we're going to bring our left leg out nice and straight. Just a simple side stretch here. It's always good to start off with. We're going to bring your hands up and above your head. Twist your body over to the left side. And like a stack of books, you're going to land your hands on the left foot. A deep stretch here. You're going to bring your hands back to center. Your feet touch each other as you come into a butterfly pose. So a butterfly pose is when both your feet are touching together. The soles of your feet are touching, and you're just going to take a moment to open and close your feet before your hands frame your feet, and you walk all the way down. Walking your hands back to frame your feet as you extend the right leg out. Simple straddle here. Let's turn hips over to the right side. Your hands come up and above your head, and like you've got a stack of books, you bring your hands to rest on the right foot. Work your hands back to center. You're going to bring both of your knees into your chest. We're going to come into a little bit of ab work tonight. So balancing on your tailbones. You're going to have your big toes touching. You're going to extend your legs out nice and long. Alright, just holding in this position for 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees into your chest and give them a nice little hug. Let's do that a couple more times before we come into our relaxation. Alright, so we have our big toes touching, our hands are by our side, and we extend our legs all the way up to the sky. We hold here for 3, 2, 1. Bring our knees into our chest and give them a little hug. Going to do that one more time. Thank you so much for joining. We're just doing a little bit of ab work, and then we're going to do some relaxation. So big toes touching, extending those legs nice and long, your hands by your side, and just holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Your knees come into your chest, and then you cross at the ankles and then come back into a cross-legged position. We're going to have your right hand come to your left knee, your left hand towards the back of the room. You're going to stretch over to your left shoulder. Taking a deep breath in and then a deep breath out. Coming back to center. Your right hand drifts towards the back of the room. Your left hand lands on your right knee and you're looking over your right shoulder. And then coming back to center. Alright, so we're going to come into some eagle arms now. So this can be a little bit difficult for people, but listen to your body and see how it goes. So you're going to bring both your hands up. You're starting with your right fingers. You're going to bring your right fingers underneath your left elbow and intertwine your arms together. So sometimes your thumbs can touch, that's good too. And then lifting those elbows up towards the sky. This is really good for stretching in between the shoulders. So deep breath in and a slow breath out as we unravel the hands and come back to cactus arms as we repeat on the opposite side. So the left hand scoops underneath the right elbow and then intertwines to touch your hands together. You lift your hands up towards the sky. You should feel a deep stretch in between those shoulders. Unraveling your hands and rest them back onto your knees. Alright, so we're going to take in a deep breath. Our hands come up and above your head, joining together in a prayer position. Interlacing your hands together. You're going to drift over one side and then over to the other side. Deep side stretch here. Coming back to center, your fist comes down and lands in your heart space. You get your hands and you're going to rest them by your side. Your right hand comes up and over your head. Another side stretch here. Looking underneath the sky. Looking underneath your elbow towards the sky. I'm not perfect, guys. Alright, so your hands come down, rest on the ground as your left one comes up towards the sky. Looking up towards underneath your elbow. And your left hand comes back down. One more time together. Let's take a deep breath. Your hands go up and above your head, joining together in a prayer position, and then resting in your heart space. For today's mantra, the best way to capture moments is to pay attention. This is how we cultivate mindfulness. You bring your hands to your lips and you thank them for always knowing what to say. You bring your hands to your heart and you thank it for always guiding the way. Thank you for practicing with me today. All together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for being with me tonight and practicing that yoga. I hope that wasn't too stretchy for you or too advanced, and I hope that you can follow along. I do actually have a video coming out hopefully tonight or over the next coming days. It's called A Treat for Typists, and basically what that is it's me sitting down, walking you through some motions. It's about 10 minutes long, about 10-12 minutes long, and it's really good for people who are sitting at desks for most of the day. And yeah, it's really good for just stretching the shoulders, stretching your wrists, and thanks guys, it was great, wasn't it? And I'm really glad that we got the technical issues sorted at the start. So yes, stay in tune for that video because it's very exciting when new things come out. Now, we are going to draw the prize very soon. So we're going to take a moment to talk about some merchandise that I have available. So I did start today at 4 o'clock and I talked about how I got involved in yoga. So yoga for me has always been something that I can go to if I have things going on in my life that are really stressful. But I didn't start teaching yoga until about 2, maybe 3 years ago. I started teaching it at the university, and then I started teaching it at a small hall down in a country town called America, where I was welcomed by a beautiful community. And then I had a little yoga studio for a little time until I got accepted into my Masters of Occupational Therapy, which brought me to online. So I do have progression videos on YouTube, on Patreon as well, which you can follow, and it has a step-by-step progression of how to do different classes and how to do different balancings, and yeah, it's a really good tool to utilize. Alright, so each gold member that is helping me out tonight gets a special gift. So the special gift is a tote bag. So it's a customized tote bag. So it's made by a friend of mine. So she does all my printing for me, and I'm so grateful to have her in my team. So she, for each tote bag, there is a different media tag on there. So that's my little gift to my gold members. Then I have my book that I wrote. So this is a self-published book, so it's got, Shanti actually means to be peace, and yeah, so this is a personally signed one that I borrowed from a friend, but we do have them in store, which the store is online, so if you guys want to purchase one, you can visit the Patreon website, and it will show you where to buy a book. So it has the class progressions that I was talking about. So this particular book has 10 classes, easy to follow steps, step-by-step classes that follow the YouTube. So yeah, it's got gorgeous photos by Lex. He's the photographer, and he did such an incredible job in capturing some beautiful moments that we did. So we've done photo shoots like this in the Narrikup Town Hall, so it was really good to bring back some really good memories of when I first started yoga. Okay, so that is the book. It's available on Patreon. So in our raffle tonight, we have a bath bomb, we have a gym towel, a customised tote bag, we have got some beautiful coffee from Nespresso, we've got some essential oils, an oil burner, Clovermint recovery balm, which is fantastic for the aches and pains around the body, some eye oil, which is really good for tired eyes, and a sheer butter mask in there, and some exfoliating gloves. So all of this worth over $150. Last chance to get a ticket if you want one. I have a question that says, do I have my book in audio form yet? So I do have audio recordings of the book, but I haven't put it up as an audio book yet, but it's definitely an aspiration for the future. Yeah, that is a really good question, and it is something that I aspire to do one day, but I just haven't got around to it just yet, so I'm sure I'll get there one day. Alright, so with the raffle, you do also get a customised t-shirt and a yoga mat. Alright, so are we ready to draw the prize? Let's draw the prize. Over the last couple of months, over the last few months, we've sold a total of 162 tickets. That is incredible. 162. I am so thankful to have such an important, amazing team behind me, and yes, good luck everyone. Okay, so I'm going to get the spinner out, get it all ready so we can see, everyone can see. I'm not playing favourites. Okay, here we go. What's it gonna land on? $136. All right. So that person will be gifted a raffle for 136. Raffle number 136. Please place your hand up. Okay, so I will send that to them and let them know that they have won. Awesome. Alright guys, well I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of my first birthday. It has been a year. It has been a very interesting year, being able to figure out how to a face-to-face platform to being fully online. I've had to figure out what the best way to do things is, and hopefully I will see you guys next year for this second birthday. And I hope you guys have an incredible night. And thank you. No, thank you guys. Yeah, and honestly, it has been a journey, and I am so glad that you have been with me through this journey the whole time. I actually really appreciate it. A huge shout out to you, and a huge shout out to the gold members who will be getting a birthday present. So yours, Svet, will be on your way soon. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And if you have any questions about tonight, feel free to inbox me or let me know if there's anything else I can do. Alright guys, bye now.